I'm Trishala. I'm a 12th grader from Dublin High School.
Hi, I'm Anika. I'm also a 12th grader from Dublin High School.
And I'm Mihika, and I'm an 11th grader, and we're Team NutriPill from Dublin High School. We are addressing NGN 2120 goal number 13, specifically the idea of healing the air, and we have created a STEM solution to do so. We want our judges to play the role of an investor and social impact entrepreneurs.
In 2018, 5.8 billion pharmaceuticals were dispensed in the US, most of which were improperly discarded. The truth is, once medication expires, people don't know what to do with it. They throw it away in the trash or flush it down the toilet, both of which have extreme environmental impacts. On the other hand, current fertilizers have negative side effects on plants, most of which lead to dire health conditions.
We conducted a survey of 96 homeowners this weekend and noted that 89% of them owned some sort of expired medication. A whopping 87% were unaware how to properly and safely dispose of the medication. And furthermore, 95% of survey takers were reported that they would buy and use a device that purified medication.
To solve this problem, we created NutriPill, which is a device that sanitizes expired medication and changes its molecular formula through a series of chemical processes, which creates a liquid plant fertilizer that can be used for gardening. NutriPill uses UV rays, iodine coating, and carbon filtration to convert expired medication into a nutritious fertilizer. The image on the right is a prototype of the NutriPill device.
You may be wondering, if expired tablets are harmful to us, will they be harmful to plants? If we think about it, pharmaceuticals are made of living organisms. They are also extracted from plant material to create medicine. And what we want to do is allow our solution to prove this idea of nature going back into nature. We will partner with pharmacies and foster this idea of using the materials that were not used in the original extraction and combine them back with the expired medication.
We are currently working with over-the-counter medication, but as we further our research, we will go into prescription medication. We will, however, prohibit the usage of human-derived medications such as insulin and steroids, as they might cause some adverse hormonal effects on the plants. Looking at the safety of NutriPill, the molecular structure of the medication can promote plant growth and sustainability. As seen on the right, magnesium, nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, and vinegar are all important for the plant.
To use NutriPill, first buy one from our online store. Once you have a NutriPill device, add 1/4 cup of vinegar into it for every pill that you use. Add a maximum of 5 pills for peak effectiveness. Then close the container and turn on NutriPill. Wait for 2 to 3 minutes, and once NutriPill signals completion, detach the watering can at the bottom of the device. The device is now ready to use as a fertilizer.
We want to develop our business, and in order to do so, we need VC funding. To increase user count, we need funding for ads, marketing efforts, and promotions. We need to perform beta testing, as we will be able to provide an incentive for users to test our product and render feedback. Developer costs are also an important reason as to why we need funding, as they will develop our web application to include more features and localization. Lastly, the infrastructure costs will help us achieve cloud storage, domain name, and server costs.
For this competition, we coded a companion web application that scans various medications and informs users if NutriPill can sanitize it. NutriPill uses machine learning to scan the barcode and identify the type of tablet, show users the active and inactive ingredients, and how to use it with their device. Our web application was coded in Python using the Flask API and embedded HTML.
As for the future features, we would like to develop a mobile application for convenience and improve the user experience by allowing them to take pictures instead of uploading an image. We created a prototype of the mobile application, which is an extension of the web app, to visually represent what one of our next steps are.
Our target market consists primarily of pharmaceutical companies who can use NutriPill to effectively dispose of expired medication. Our target market also consists of farms and agricultural organizations that can use fertilizer. We also want to market NutriPill to homeowners who can utilize NutriPill for personal use. As mentioned before, we want to work with companies like Safeway and CVS Pharmacy, as well as home goods stores like Target, to bring NutriPill to aisles everywhere. We also want to set up partnerships with farms and gardening stores. To gain customers, we will use ads, a presence in local stores, and various marketing campaigns. And to retain customers, we will develop reward and referral programs, create notifications, and constantly pad our app with new information.
NutriPill will primarily make money through product sales, which will initially take place online, but we plan to expand to home goods stores in the future. We will also incorporate in-app and mobile native ads into our mobile companion app, as well as collaborate with partners.
We have already started social networking for NutriPill and plan to transition to other social media platforms to promote our business.
To measure NutriPill's effectiveness as a fertilizer, we refer to a study conducted by Georgetown University, which studied the effectiveness of various fertilizers. Compared to the two most bought fertilizers, NutriPill is the most cost-efficient and has no negative environmental effects. We also performed a short testing at home and found that NutriPill increases growth rate.
As for our financial module, our retail value is $49. Manufacturing costs will come to $21. Labor and shipping costs will be approximately $11, leaving us a gross profit margin of 35%.
Our projected profit graph factor the profit we would make from each device and revenue generated from ads and collaborations. Our user count will exponentially increase as we roll out marketing campaigns and form partnerships with home goods stores and pharmacies. By 2030, we plan to have 900K users and a profit of $4.1 million.
After finalizing our MVP, we will be presenting our app to numerous pharmacies and local home goods stores, broadening our customer base. After completing our beta testing within 8 months, we will revise NutriPill. And within the next 12 months, we will conduct larger scale rollout and begin marketing campaigns. With the completed app, we will reach out to investors to seek $10,000 in seed funding within 2 years. With support from pharmaceutical foundations, we plan to utilize these additional funds to spread awareness of our product and market beyond San Francisco.
Within the next couple of months, we want to code our web app to become a mobile app, expand our target market, design a commercial-sized device, and apply for a patent. And finally, research the effect of bioaccumulation on plants as well as how incineration is used on medication.
To summarize, our solution targets 2 key problems: the complex disposal of expired medication and unhealthy plant fertilizers. NutriPill solves these problems as it efficiently converts expired medication into a nutritive fertilizer. We believe you should invest in NutriPill to revolutionize the way we utilize expired medication.
So, who's ready to advance with NutriPill? Thank you, and we're ready to hear any questions.
Thank you. I have a quick follow-up question. What is the flow of expired pills today? Is it just flushing down the toilet? Is that the main method of disposal today? Or are there any other ways that already exist today?
Yeah, so
like batteries kind of a thing.
So the factory way of disposing it is through incineration, which is like burning the pill. But the problem is many people don't have the time to go to the store, so they flush it down the toilet or throw it away, which can cause it to go in the wrong hands, or if it goes through the water in the rivers, it has hormonal effects on fish.
And to add on to that, every year most cities have once a year drug pickup, so they'll come and they'll take all expired medication, any other medication, but this is only once a year, and people often don't want to wait for a whole year just to dispose of their medication. So just the easiest thing for them to do is just flush it down the toilet, or mix it with some water and pour it down the drain.
Thanks.
Presentation. Yeah, I had a couple of questions. I mean, it seems like you have a couple of target users. One is the household and the other would be the kind of pharmaceutical companies, because as an individual user, I don't know if I would spend $49 on a device on the off chance that I have some expired Tylenol once or twice a year. And I live in an apartment, so I don't have plants. I have one plant. So I just am confused as to what the value proposition is for an individual. I can see it for a company that makes Tylenol potentially, but they would have also very large scale solutions versus an individual sized NutriPill. So if you just explain the different kind of target markets that you have and the value proposition.
Yeah, of course. So we did conduct a user survey when we first started our project just a couple days ago. And we did notice that a lot of people do have a lot of expired medication sitting around their house. But you do bring up a really good point that individual users will not be using this as much. We included that in our target market because at the beginning, we developed a prototype that was user size, so just home user. But our main target market is pharmacies, because we know that pharmacies are the biggest place where there's going to be expired medication. And as Anika mentioned in the next steps, we are working right now to develop a commercial sized device. So definitely our target market will be pharmacies, and we are working towards prototyping a commercial sized device.
Just a quick follow-up question. Where will you be doing your production, or like how do you imagine doing the actual manufacturing?
We haven't completely thought about our manufacturing right now, because we're still kind of working with our prototyping, and because this is a very scientific concept, our biggest priority right now is actually to conduct more testing and see the effects of bioaccumulation on plants. But we'd love to get back to you on that.
As Anika mentioned, we still have to do research on bioaccumulation and incineration. For now, we only tested on flowers or like plants that are non-consumables, but we also have to do further testing to see if it'll work, like for example, in farms or agricultural organizations, so we can spread our target market, so it can be used towards consumables too. So we have to do testing for that.
So you haven't done any testing as of today on the effectiveness or whether or not you're actually able to effectively neutralize the active ingredients within these tablets?
So we did do a lot of theoretical testing, and we, analyzed the molecular compounds of these different pills, specifically OTC pills, what they contain, how they can be neutralized. And we did conduct a really short study in the time span of this project. As you can see below, we did notice that NutriPill fertilizer did have a 13% growth, increase in growth on tulip. But yeah, definitely because the span of this project was so short, we do want to continue studying it ourselves. But based on studies that we've researched from Georgetown University, there shouldn't be any negative side effects.